Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and today, I know, I changed it on you. Little curveball. We are taking our look at the brand new patch notes that were just released this morning. I know, I'm a little late. I'm sorry, I slept in, which is probably a good thing because I needed to sleep today. Because I've not been sleeping very well. But with all of that, we've got a doozy of a patch notes and Ministry of Balance changes to go over today. So get ready, strap in, go get yourself a snack, get yourself something to drink, and I, as always, will lead you through the patch notes as best I can. So, starting out, we have the summer update. Always courageous. Like it? Okay, hey, the maintenance times will be June 19th from 2 to 5 a.m. Central Time, 7 to 10 a.m. UTC. Update size for Xbox One S and X is 3200 megabytes, and for the Xbox Series S and X is 3200 megabytes, so 3.2 gigs. PS4 and PS5, you've got 3200 for PS4, 802 for PS5. For iOS, 150 plus another 860 megabytes, which is kind of crazy. And then for Android, the same thing. Summer update. Always courageous. We're ready to spend the summer on the waves, captains. Are you? Let's take a look at the plans for this update, including our new exciting Independence Day celebrations. For some festive gear, redeem the code TCN61LL3JS at wowslegends.com/code-redeemer to receive 6 red, white, and blue camos. Don't feel like reading the full patch notes? Well, that's what I'm here for, but here's a quick summary. Fleets are here. American content in batches. The Semper Fortis collection, the San Diego, and Stars and Stripes random bundles, and more. A collaboration with Popeye. An update long Brawl. A new ship for steel, USS Salem at Tier 8. Legendary modifications, and more. Fleets are finally here. The wait is over. You can now create your own fleet or join an existing one to play with your friends. As you play, you'll earn oil. The special fleet resource, which can be spent on useful enhancements to increase your fleet size, reduce the cost of post-battle maintenance, and more. You'll also have the chance to acquire select prizes such as spring big crates. We'll take a closer look at fleets in a dedicated article tomorrow, June 16th, so stay tuned. This feature is not yet available for mobile versions of Legends, keep that in mind. July 4th celebrations. In this update, we're celebrating American Independence Day with tons of new content. Let's go over what you can expect and take a detailed look at all the American-themed content that will arrive starting next week. The Independium, your key to celebratory content. Independium is a event currency for this update. You can acquire it through a dedicated campaign, both with and without the Admiralty backing, via random bundles, and by completing the A Fistful of Impendium mission. Rewards include Popeye collaboration content, Semper Fortis collection crates, Stars and Stripes random bundles, and more. San Diego and Stars and Stripes random bundles. 2 new random bundles will be available in this update. One is centered around the Tier 7 Premium Cruiser San Diego, and the other drops Stars and Stripes permanent camos for various high-tier American ships, such as Des Moines and Minnesota. The Liberty Calls bundle is available for doubloons, while Stars and Stripes can be purchased with Impendium. The Semper Fortis Collection. The newest collection arrives with 12 new cards in 3 themes: the naval uniform, medals, and artillery. Complete the collection to earn a themed patch and base. A themed flag patch and base, sorry. Along the ultimate reward, the Lady Liberty Commander guys with a unique voiceover. The guise can be applied to American and French non-collaboration commanders. Independence Day port is now back. Even more fireworks in this update. The special port can be yours only on consoles. Popeye collaboration. More good news. A legendary collaboration with Popeye is coming to Legends this summer. Get ready for 2 new commander guises with voiceovers for the USN, Popeye, the Sailor... Oh, okay. So for USN is Popeye the Sailor Man and also apparently Bluto the Terrible, along with their flags, a spinach patch, and a very special Spinacher skin for Battleship Colorado, which, I'll be honest, like, again, I feel like this is one of those times where, like, they could have done more with this, and they just took Popeye's face and just plastered it all over it. There's a little bit of waves here, which is kind of cool. You get to see the wake. But personally, it looks kind of lazy. You know, it kind of reminds me of what do you call them? The Japanese, like, ones where they just take the same symbol and they plop it all over the ship. It just seems a little lazy, but still, I like the idea of having a Popeye voiceover or a Bluto voiceover, so could be fun. The Always Courageous campaign, USS Tulsa. Another piece of U.S. Navy content. Pretty standard for the Independence Day time of year. Tier 8 Tulsa is arriving in Legends with accurate and rapidly reloading guns, a powerful radar, and good concealment. Plus, she's available with the Admiralty backing as the ultimate prize. The campaign framework remains unchanged with 100 milestones in 5 weeks. Let's take a look at the campaign prizes, both with and without Admiralty backing. Without Admiralty backing, you get all of this for a total of 16,983 doubloons worth of things. And if you get Admiralty backing, you get all of that, plus you get an additional all of this, including the ship Tulsa, for a total of 77,833 doubloons worth of things. The Long Brawl, Season 11. This update's Brawl is special, with reduced reload time for both the main battery and the torpedoes, and increased ship speed. The mode will be available for the whole update until July 24th. Plus, it's open to all players with account level 6 and higher, with any Tier 3 to Tier 7 ship, which means that almost anyone can participate and rack up great prizes. In this update, you'll also be able to complete various missions while in the mode. Expect a dedicated article with full rules, prizes, and other details in the beginning of next week. This is an experimental version of Brawl. It's almost like they're testing out a brand new game mode that potentially, if it goes well, could stick around. I could be wrong, but that's what it seems like. This seems like, because they're adding it from Tier 3 up to Tier 7 as a test, it would not surprise me if this is them going, okay, we understand that not everybody wants to play super serious standard battles. However, maybe, the brawls seem to be somewhat fun for everybody. Maybe we throw in a separate game mode that people could play at any time. That would be interesting, right? So we'll see if this ends up sticking around after this test. We'll see. In with the new and the old too. Stellar Clash content is back. Starting June 26th, this update is bringing back Stellar Clash event content. As a container, unfortunately. You don't get to actually play the Stellar Clash mode, because why would you want to do that? The revamped container will also drop 3 new skins, along with other themed items such as commanders and even more goods. As always, you can find the exact drop rates at wowslegends.com/containers. Random bundles, collections, and commander guises are not available for mobile players at this time. Mobile! It's your guys' turn. With this update, we are bringing the following improvements to the mobile version of Legends. Major optimization improvements, ship exploration and redesigned purchase buttons, and preset hints. If you're located in Brazil, Canada, France, or the Philippines, you can download the mobile game here. And they list a link for iOS and Android. Italian destroyers are now researchable. The Tier 8 Adriatico has arrived, meaning the latest tech tree branch of the Italian destroyers is now researchable. Try them out with SAP shells and exhaust smoke generator if you haven't already. Balance changes and legendary modifications. Now, if you guys don't know, we actually knew this was coming for quite a while. Shout out to Tommy Boy, I believe. Tommy Boy was probably the first person that picked up on the idea that, hey, we've got Epic, so there's a chance that they're going to add in legendary mods at some point as well. This is something that has been going on in games for a while, where you can get epic loot and legendary loot and so on. So I'm pretty sure it was Tommy Boy that said this initially, and I agreed with him. And so, yeah, now it's here, officially. So let's see what the difference between epic mods and legendary mods are, and how you can unlock them. Let's see what we got. So epic and legendary modifications are both available now. And now your 4th slot modifications can be upgraded into epic and legendary versions using steel. Normal modifications can be upgraded to epic for 500 steel. So actually, that's not that bad. I don't mind that. And epic modifications can be further upgraded to legendary for 2,000 steel. Okay, that's a little more steep, but again, you're going to get a pretty nasty bonus. So the initial 500 steel for upgrading your 4th slot into a epic mod is going to be something that is pretty much done on every ship that you do. Whatever your epic mod is, or whatever your mod is for the 4th slot, you're probably going to want to make that epic. So that gives you a chance, and it's not that expensive. 500 steel, yes, steel is expensive, but generally speaking, you can get 500 steel pretty quickly. So, with all of that being said, that is pretty nice. That means everybody's going to be able to upgrade their modules to the epic at least. Now, the legendary mods, you're going to have to kind of pick and choose which ships that you prefer to put these on, because these are a little more expensive. Obviously, I recommend these for your highest tier, your favorite ships, so on. But 2,000 steel to upgrade from an epic badge to a legendary. That's on top of already spending 500 to make it epic. So you've got 500, and then you've got to upgrade that to legendary for 2,000. So it's going to cost you essentially a campaign admiralty backing. I say that. It's not gold. Never mind. It's 2,500 steel to go from a normal mod up to legendary, so keep that in mind. To upgrade a modification, you first install it on the ship of your choice, then you can upgrade it like you would upgrade a crafted camouflage. Legendary modifications provide both epic modification bonuses and even more buffs each time you sink an enemy ship. Epic boosts are activated with 30,000 damage dealt by your ship, and legendary boosts are activated each time you sink an enemy ship. Each boost can stack up to 5 times. In addition, it now costs 25 doubloons to dismount any modification. This includes epic and legendary modifications. Alternatively, epic modifications can be sold for 1.8 million credits, and legendary modifications can be sold for 3.375 million credits. Here's the lineup for legendary modifications. For the Gunfire Control System Mod 2, your epic boost was plus 2% to main battery range per stack, meaning you can get up to 10% more main battery range. And the legendary boost is plus 5% to main battery damage per stack. So you can get up to 10% main battery range and up to 25% more damage, which is kind of crazy. The main battery range is whatever. But it also looks like that's going to be everything. But it's main batteries. And then, of course, the torpedo one actually terrifies me. Because we're going to have to do some math on that here in a moment. But Artillery Plotting Room Mod 2. The epic boost is minus 2% to dispersion of main batteries per stack. And, of course, that's per 30,000 damage. And then the legendary boost adds plus 5% main battery damage per stack. So for every kill you get a boost to 5% of your damage. Okay, up to 25% more damage for American battleships with that kind of dispersion. Meaning some of these ships are going to be absolutely busted if they citadel you. Just throwing that one out there. And they're going to be more accurate to do it. Remember the Georgia we've been running with Azure Lane, New Jersey Commander? When you run the artillery plotting room and get the full stacks by the end of the battle, you're actually getting a Georgia that's pretty reliable and now has the ability to citadel things for... I don't know the exact damage. I know we could get it over 20,000 before. So if you add another 25% on top of that with a Kraken, which, let's be honest, is not going to happen all that often, but an extra 25% of damage on top of that, if you're already doing 20,000... you add another 25% to that, which is another 5,000. Now you're suddenly doing 20... No, try it again. Yes, that's right. Never mind, I'm wrong. Okay, so that would be 25,000 damage for a single citadel. Now, obviously, I'm just estimating here. I'm not going to look up the exact numbers and do all the thing. And that's... you got to keep in mind, you could also run Arthas in there for a little boost. Or you can run, New Jersey with the commander's skill that allows you to, as you take damage. Like, there's a lot of things here that boost the damage. The American battleships are about to get absolutely cracked, I think. Obviously, the rest of these ships are going to be getting similar boosts as well. Main battery mod 3. Epic boost was minus 2% to main battery reload time per stack. Legendary boost is plus 5% to main battery damage per stack. So again, you're going to have ships able to load up much faster and get an extra 5% damage to the main gun. This, I think, sounds like it would be ridiculous for ships like Yamato, ships like the French battleships. Like, getting them to reload faster and hit harder seems like a recipe for disaster. But that's not all. Secondary battery mod 3. Epic boost is minus 5% to secondary battery reload time per stack, obviously. And the legendary boost now has plus 5% to secondary battery damage per stack, which is a little bit crazy, but I think this is going to be mostly for the Italian battleships, and you'll see why in a moment. Now, obviously, the Schlieffen and the German battlecruisers, they're going to get a big boost as well, but... and the Atlantico, oh my god, I didn't even think about that. The Atlantico secondaries, oh my god. When those 234mm secondaries hit the ships, like, they were already hurting when they hit. Not to mention setting fires every freaking, 5 seconds. Or maybe it's 8 seconds, I forget. But, yeah, not only that, but now they're going to be doing an extra 5% damage per kill. So that's kind of crazy to think about. Torpedo launchers mod 3, same thing. Epic boost was minus 2% torpedo reload time per stack, but the scary part is now for every kill that they get, they are going to be getting an extra 5% torpedo damage per stack. Now, when you consider the fact that Shimakaze can do 23,000 damage per torpedo currently, and then you throw an extra 25% on top of that. So you take a quarter of 23,000. We're going to just throw it up there as essentially another 5,500 to 6,000 damage. We'll just call it 6,000 damage, right? It's close to 24, so we'll just call it 6,000 damage on top of that. Now suddenly your torpedoes from Mishima are doing 29,000 damage per hit. Yeah, that's kind of nutty. And guess what? They don't have to citadel you. They just got to hit you. Obviously, there's going to be some reduction, but let's be honest, I don't care how much reduction you have in your torpedo protection. Taking any Shima torpedo, no matter what ship you're in, is devastating. and it's about to get worse. So, yay. They might need to revisit this. Again, it's due to how many kills you get, so most people are not going out putting up Krakens, right? It's just not happening. Some people do. Meta, I'm looking at you. American Tier 8 Cruiser Salem. The all-new American Cruiser comes with a high rate of fire, improved penetration angles for AP shells, a solid AA suite, and the choice between the sonar and radar consumables. It's time to deal damage. You can acquire her in the Forge starting June 19th. So the Salem is going to be available. Sounds like it's got a lot of good things. But I wonder how much higher rate of fire we're talking. Like, essentially this is a Balti, right? So I wonder how much faster firing this thing's going to be at Tier 8. This is essentially a Tier 8 Balti. So, we'll see. In addition, the price of USN Battleship Missouri has been permanently reduced from $30,000 to $17,500 steel. The players who have acquired her starting from May 15th will automatically receive compensation in steel equal to the difference between the old and the new price. For a lot of us, this is a kick in the nuts. Let's just be real. We're all sailors here. We can be a little bit aggressive. It has taken us so long to get the steel necessary to get this ship, right? For those of us who spent full price for this, but this happens in day-to-day life all the time. How many times you go out and you buy the brand new thing, you get it, you pay full price, like say an Xbox. You get the new Xbox, pay out your arm and a leg because all the scalpers out there anyway, but you go out there, you pay full price for the new Xbox, and only a month later they decide to reduce the price from an arm and a leg to just your firstborn child. You know, that sort of thing. Burton, what do you mean? You're saying that an arm and a leg is worth more than your firstborn child? I don't have a child, so. Anyway, it's all jokes, folks. Relax. But this is a thing, it's just a discount, right? Just think of it as depreciation, unfortunately. So those of us who bought it for $30,000 steel, we're kind of getting shafted, unless, of course, you bought it recently, in which case they're actually going out of their way to at least give some people a little bit of steel back. And not a little, a lot of steel back. So keep that in mind. Also, American Tier 7 Cruiser San Diego. This is a American Atlanta class cruiser. As you can see, you got the guns up here, you got the guns on the side. You know, it's got 17 total guns, I believe. But yeah, anyway, the big thing about the San Diego is that they fire SAP. Yes, that is correct. SAP. There's no such thing as too many of those, right? No, yeah, you can't have too many American cruisers. San Diego comes with SAP shells, rapid reloading guns, and the main battery reload booster. That's a lot of potential right there. You can acquire her through Liberty calls random bundles. This is an Atlanta that fires SAP and also gets a main battery reload booster. Holy mother of God. How fast would these things be reloading? Oh no. That's got potential for the burst fire. You're essentially adding a burst fire Atlanta. Now obviously Atlantas don't have the most range in the world, but like destroyer, you're done. As if coming around the corner and finding Atlanta was bad enough in a destroyer. Now you've got San Diego. That's SAP. You're done. You're gone. Good luck. The return of former campaign ships for Global XP. This update brings back French battleship Republique and German destroyer ZF6. Available for doubloons. Both of these ships are now back for good. You can buy them for doubloons, or if you have the Global XP, you can pick up both of the ships. So for those of you who missed out on the Repub, you guys know how much I love the thing. Definitely highly recommend you pick this thing up for global XP. This thing is nasty. Y'all know. You've seen my videos. Just did them recently. Bug fixes. For console, fix the issue with the binocular view that impacted the leading of targets when playing Napoli. Fixed the missing display of armor protection for Giulio Cesare in the armor tab. Fixed instances of incorrectly displayed modifications after a battle. Corrected the icon for the Urashima skin for Kagero. Improved the animation for acquiring a missing day in the calendar event. Mobile. Fix the incorrect display of the collection icon when opening crates. Fix the incorrect display of opposing ships' HP bar when they take damage. That sounds kind of important. It's like, oh, I just shot that guy. I wonder how much damage I did. His health didn't seem to go down, but I saw damage. Yeah. I feel for you guys on mobile. I really do. Added account level 11, which unlocks access to fleets. In this update, the following missions can be completed in any mode. Daily Boost, Weekly Boost, Battle Prowess, A Fistful of Indipendium, Winds of Summer, Lotus Flower, Weekly Havoc 1 through 5. Prepare the fireworks and turn the tide. So lots of craziness with just the update. And we haven't even got to the Ministry of Balance. The Italian Concerto. Hello and welcome. Whoops, wrong button. To the June edition of the Ministry of Balance. This update, we're making some changes and updates to the Italian battleship line, gearing them even more towards close-range combat. Those aren't the only changes we're making, though. A few destroyers and cruisers are getting some love as well. The Italian battleship line has never been very popular. It's because they're very inconsistent at best, and they're supposed to be brawlers, and even their meme-worthiness with having SAP secondaries has always been nerfed behind the fact that they don't have that much range. Sounds like we're about to change that. Though there are plenty of captains who swear by these beautiful ships, they have an odd mix of parameters that don't combine particularly well. No kidding. So we intend to adjust them and turn these ships into competitive close-range combatants. Our objectives are to make these ships more oriented towards their SAP secondary battery and make the main battery more effective in brawls, but approximately retain the overall damage output. Secondary battery firing range has been increased. Visibility while firing in smoke has been decreased. HP for most Italian battleships has been reduced. They're already pretty tanky, so I don't think, unless it's crazy, that this is going to hurt too much. Damage output for main and secondary batteries has been reduced. And main battery AP ricochet angles have been greatly improved. That actually sounds spicy. Like, legitimately, this sounds spicy. They don't ever give you any sort of, like, numbers, I guess, but this is kind of crazy. For Tier 5 and higher Italian battleships. So from Tier 5 up, these things are going to start being able to stick AP shells on target that aren't going to be bouncing. Interesting. For the Dante, this is where, okay, we're putting in a disclaimer. All you Italians out there, close your ears. I'm about to butcher your beautiful language once again. The Dante Alighieri. Secondary battery firing range increased from 3.5 to 4 kilometers. That's actually a pretty spicy little upgrade. Main battery AP shell damage was reduced from 8,100 to 7,900. Main battery reload time increased from 32 to 33 seconds. The stock HP for the hull went from 32,400 to 30,000. So it's actually a pretty nasty little change, but it's not huge. And then it breaks down the actual reduction in different areas of the ship. Upgraded hull HP reduced from 36 to 33, so a 3,000 HP drop overall. And again, it breaks down all the things. Visibility while firing in smoke reduced from 9.17 to 6.88. That's kind of crazy. That's a significant buff to the smoke firing penalty. The Conte de Cavour. Secondary battery firing range increased from 4 to 4.25, so less of a change there. Main battery AP shell damage reduced from 8100 to 7900. Main battery HE shell damage reduced from 42 to 3800. Main battery reload time increased from 27 to 28.5 seconds. Stock hull HP reduced from 37,000 to 33,000. And the upgraded hull HP reduced from 38,700 to 36,300. So, not huge changes to their overall HP, but you're going to notice that one more shell will kill you. So, every time that I leave somebody with just enough to get away, no, let's be honest, I'm still going to be leaving everybody with just enough to get away. That's just how it works. Visibility when firing in smoke reduced from 9.96 to 7.47. Again, pretty spicy little buff there. Andrea Doria. Secondary battery firing range increased from 4 to 4.5 base. The secondary battery 90mm gun reload time increased from 3 to 3.5 seconds. The secondary battery 135mm gun reload time increased from 4 to 5 seconds. Main battery AP shell damage reduced from 9700 to 9500. Main battery AP shell ricochet angles increased from 4560 to 5570. Okay. I'll be honest, I don't know much. I know this is angle on impact, so you're going from a base angle on impact of 45 to 60 degrees to 55 to 70 degrees. So pretty spicy little buff there. It's a literally a 10-degree buff to the AP pin angles. Okay. Main battery HE shell damage reduced from 5,000 to 4,700. Stock hull HP reduced from 41,300 to 39,100. Upgraded hull reduced from 45,000 to 42,200. Visibility when firing in smoke reduced from 11.22 to 8.41. Again, spicy upgrades to their smoke firing penalty. Francesco Caracciolo. It's one of my favorite things to say. I don't know why. Secondary battery firing range increased from 4.5 to 5 kilometers base. Secondary battery 90mm guns reloaded time increased from 3 to 3.5 seconds. Secondary battery 152mm gun reload time increased from 4 to 5 seconds. Main battery AP shell damage reduced from 12,000 to 11,000. Main battery AP shell ricochet angles from 4560 to 5570. Again, a 10-degree buff to the AP pin angles. Main battery HE shell damage reduced from 5,800 to 5,400. Stock hull HP from 52,600 to 48,600. Upgraded hull HP reduced from 54,500 to 50,500. And visibility while firing in smoke reduced from 13.1 to 9.8. That's, so I've said it before, I'll say it again. That's spicy. That's a spicy meatball. I know. The Vittorio Veneto. Secondary battery firing range increased from 5 to 5.75 kilometers base. Stock 90mm guns from 3 to 3.5 seconds. The 152mm secondaries from 4 to 5 seconds. Main battery AP shell damage reduced from 12,000 to 11,000. Main battery AP shell ricochet angles increased from 4560 to 5570. Main battery HE shell damage reduced from 5,800 to 5,400. Visibility while firing in smoke reduced from 13.95 to 10.46. Again, pretty spicy. This is the difference between almost always getting detected when you fire your guns from your smoke screen to only being detected if there's a cruiser or destroyer that's nearby. Because most battleship, well, I say that. I tend to get up close and personal. So, there's that. Lepanto. Secondary battery firing range increased from 6 to 6.25, so not a huge change there. Main battery AP shell damage reduced from 12,000 to 11,000. Main battery AP shell ricochet angles from 4560 to 5570. So again, 10-degree buff across the board for the main guns of the Italian battleships. Main battery HE shell damage reduced from 5,800 to 5,400. And the visibility while firing in smoke from 14.2 to 10.65. Yeah, that's going to be kind of nutty. Obviously, if you're up close and personal and brawling, you're going to probably end up getting spotted regardless when you fire your guns. But there's a lot of situations where this is going to keep you from getting detected while you get your smoke out. The Marco Polo, to distinguish Marco Polo from the other Italian battleships, she's getting an improved firing range. Her main battery firing range increased from 16.7 to 17.1, so about a half a kilometer. So not too crazy. The Italian commanders are also getting adjustments. We've made changes to the Italian commander's unique skills to fit the updates that have been made and new ships that have been added to the Italian tech tree over the past year. Inigo Campioni, Spartan base trait improved for a maximum of 4 to 5% reduction of incoming damage from shells. So he's going from 4% to 5% reduction of incoming damage. Paolo de Rebel, or Paolo di Rebel, is an exceptional commander for battleships as a whole. So his base trait has been reduced some. Of course it has. Why wouldn't we allow battleships to have faster fire rates across the board? It's not like we have to wait 40 seconds in between shots just to watch our shells splash all around a target. Meanwhile, every shell from every other ship is landing perfectly every time, no matter what your changes are. Anyway, rant over. His Artisan's Touch unique skill didn't provide a sufficient advantage, so it has been reworked to provide only improvements. Time is of the essence base trait reduced from a maximum of 6% to 5.5% reduction in main battery reload time. It's not a huge change, but still annoying. Like, how many people actually run Paolo de Rebel except me on most of their battleships? Like, I run this guy on most of my battleships, and now they're nerfing it. So apparently, I'm just too good. They're like, nope, Spartan's posting too many good games in his battleships with this skill. We're going to reduce that. Artisans, obviously I'm being facetious, folks. Please, these are jokes. Artisan's Touch skill reworked. Battleship's AP shell penetration multiplier reduced from 25810 to 2345. That's kind of crazy, actually. So on the top of the penetration multiplier, you're going from 8 to 10%. Down to 5% and 4%. You literally cut it in half. A little crazy. Addition, battleship shells deal more damage on critical hits by 8 to 10%. Okay. Removed battleship AP shell fuse time increased by 10%. So you're less likely to overpin. And you get a little bit more damage on Citadel hits. Francesco Membelli is a popular choice for commander inspirations, but his unique skill requires a revisit as a result. Time to make a move base trait reduced from a maximum of 6 to 5.5% reduction in cruiser main battery reload time. Okay, so the cruisers are getting the same touch as the battleships, so fair enough. I'm not insane. You clearly are. Skill has been replaced with Behind the Curtain and a new skill icon. Behind the Curtain effects reduces ship detectability while firing in smoke, 4, 6, 8, 10. Reduces incoming damage from shells, torpedoes, and bombs to your cruiser while inside a smokescreen, 4, 6, 8, 10. Increases smokescreen dispersion time by 2, 3, 4, 5. Smoke on the water has been added as a 4th row skill. Luigi Cincinnati. The Subtle Manipulations unique skill was originally designed to mimic SAP. We're updating this skill to augment SAP and make these shells even better. Subtle Manipulations reworked. Addition, increase cruiser main battery SAP shell damage by 2, 4, 6, 8%. Increase incoming fire dispersion by up to 4%. Removed the reduced cruiser main battery shell grouping, and removed the reduced cruiser main battery AP fuse time. Giuseppe Fulgosi. Squid Ink's unique skill has been improved. Increase in smoke screen deployment time improved from 20 to 50%. Actually, I lied. Yeah, from 20 to 50% to 15 to 60%. Reduction in smokescreen dispersion time from 50 to up to 50. So now it's going to be dependent on your level of your commander. Luigi Rizzo, Swordfish unique skill. Addition increases destroyer SAP shell damage by up to 5%. Increases in torpedo damage from 0.75 to 0.3 to now 2 to 5. So that's a pretty spicy torpedo damage buff for the Italian destroyer torpedoes. And increase in engine boost duration from 2 to 8 to 4 to 10. Global skill changed. The battleship skill on second thought has received an improvement to make it more desirable next to firefighter in the third row. It also has a new skill icon. On second thought, addition has reduced main battery reload time by up to 5%. That's spicy. But you're going to have to trade your firefighter skill for on second thought. So keep that in mind. Main battery or main ship balance changes. It's not just the Italian changes coming in this update. We're also bringing some love to various new and old ships in the game. Northern Dragon is receiving some torpedo reload buffs from 122 to 105. Detectability reduced from 7.1 to 6.6. Detectability by air from 3.6 to 3.3. And detectability while firing in smoke from 2.22 to 2.15. The Saint Louis. Or no, sorry. The St. Louis. This is the American St. Louis. St. Louis is a low-tier monster of a ship, combining battleship-like durability with impressive cruiser firepower. We're toning down her survivability to reduce her impact in battle. Yeah, she's always... See, that's the problem. Like, Saint Louis would be actually spelled out Saint, or Saint, right? So, it just threw me off. I was like, oh, it's the Saint Louis. No, it's the St. Louis. But stock hull HP reduced from 27,300 to 25,000, and the upgraded hull is reduced from 29,500 to 27,000. Pensacola is getting a buff. Upgraded main battery reload speed from 15 to 13 seconds. I don't know if it needed a DPM buff as much as it needed like a turret traverse buff. But stock hull rudder shift time reduced from 9.1 to 8.2, and upgraded hull rudder shift time from 7 to 6.3. So it's actually going to be pretty agile now, which it's always been pretty agile. Again, I don't know if these changes are going to help that much for the Pensacola's biggest weakness, which is just keeping those guns on target. She's always had fantastic guns. She's always been relatively agile, so you can move out of the way as long as you're paying attention. But getting a little bit of DPM is nice because she does have slow reload. But she has amazing guns, so having a slower reload never really hurt her. It's the turret traverse that kills the Pensacola. Those turrets take all year to turn, meaning that as you're trying to dodge and avoid shells, you can't keep your turrets on target. That's a mouthful to say. New Orleans is also getting a buff. Stock main battery reload time reduced from 14 to 13.5 seconds. Upgraded main battery reload speed from 13 to 12 seconds. Hull plating improved from 16 millimeters to 19 millimeters to 25 millimeters on the bow and the stern. Meaning that basically she's just going to be tankier overall against most things except for battleships. Anything with like 15-inch guns and above is still going to be able to overmatch the New Orleans and just tear her apart. Danae is getting a buff. Wow, that's a long time coming. Stock hull HP increased from 18,400 to 20,300, meaning that every time you shoot at a Danae now, you're still going to get the depth strike, you just get more damage for it. Upgraded HP has gone from 20,900 to 23,000. So again, you're getting more HP out of shooting and killing a Danae in one shot. Emerald. Stock hull rudder shift time reduced from 10.9 to 9.8 seconds, and upgraded hull rudder shift time from 7.8 to 7 seconds. T-22 is getting stock hull HP increased from 94 to 11,500. That's a spicy increase for a destroyer. That's kind of nutty. And then for the upgraded hull, you're going from 11,300 to 13,000. Again, pretty spicy for the tier. The Getty. is getting nerfed, actually. The stock hull HP from 15,700 to 15,000. Steering gear has been reduced from 4,700 to 4,500. Oh, that's HP, sorry. Upgraded hull HP has been reduced from 16,500 to 15,700. So a little bit of a nerf there. Not too crazy. Z23 has an upgraded main battery reload time, getting a buff from 6.7 to 6.4 seconds. Upgraded torpedo reload time from 90 to 81. That's even spicier because Z23 is already known for being able to get its torpedo reload under 1 minute. So now you're going to be even faster. So might have to revisit the Z23 to see how fast you can get those torpedoes to reload now. Same thing for the Z46. So hull rudder shift time reduced from 6.3 to 6.2. Upgraded rudder shift time from 4.5 to 4.4. And then upgraded torpedo reload time from 90 to 81 seconds as well. Pan-Asian cruisers. These ships were a pleasant surprise for many captains who enjoy them, but their performance leaves some room for improvement. We're making some nice adjustments to these ships so that they can continue to be enjoyed. The Chumphon. Main battery reload time reduced from 6.5 to 6 seconds. Stock torpedo reload time reduced from 95 to 90 seconds. Upgraded torpedo reload time from 86 to 80 seconds. The Harbin. Main battery reload time reduced from 5.5 to 4.9 seconds. Stock hull HP increased from 23,800 to 26,400. So pretty spicy buff to their hull. Not crazy, because they still have the exposed citadel, and if you over-angle, you're just getting blapped out of existence regardless. But it's going to take at least an extra shell to probably kill you. Upgraded hull from 26,500 to 29,500. Torpedo speed increased from 62 to 64 knots. Stock torpedo reload time reduced from 128 to 115 seconds. Upgraded torpedo reload time from 115 to 100. The Sejong. Main battery reload time reduced from 5.5 to 5.2 seconds. Stock hull HP increased from 28,800 to 29,600. Upgraded hull increased from 29,800 to 32,000. Model updates. The King George V and Duke of York. After much investigation, we were able to move the Citadel locations on these ships back to their original locations while keeping the updated turret model. Their armor should now perform as it used to. So in other words, we had a brief period where King George and the Duke of York could be citadeled, and now suddenly they're going to go back to not being citadeled. Unfortunate. King George V's repair party has been reverted to the original consumable. Minor changes. Some ships have received updates to their armor models, but you shouldn't notice any difference in gameplay. Except if you look at the King George V and the Duke of York, you saw what that meant for them. And this is a theme that has happened many times throughout the history of World of Warships Legends, where they change the armor model and suddenly either the turrets, you start getting citadel damage on the turrets, or you start getting all kinds of things. There's been a lot of doofus things that have happened due to armor model changes, so keep an eye out. While you're not supposed to see any difference in gameplay, there's a good chance that they will. The Worcester has been updated. Oh, I wonder if she now can be citadeled on a regular again. Queen Elizabeth has been upgraded. Azure Lane Queen Elizabeth has been upgraded, and the Warspite has been upgraded. The armor models of the Devonshire and Surrey have each received a small armor addition to their turret rings. The armor model for Giulio Cesare now displays torpedo protection fully in the armor viewer. And the small upper ledge of the fore and aft citadel at Warships bulkhead has been increased in thickness from 6 to 70 millimeters. Jesus! That's kind of a big deal. Like, it's like, oh, it used to be 6 millimeters, now it's 70 millimeters. Good Lord. Okay, well, that's a thing. It's not that big of a deal, but it's still kind of crazy. Anyway, so there's your Ministry of Balance. There's your patch notes. I know it's been a heck of a long video, so I do apologize. I did warn you. Get your snacks. This was a crazy one. They're adding a lot of things. I want to know what your favorite part of this is. What's your craziest build going to be for this update with all of the changes, the legendary mods coming? Are you excited? There's a lot of content coming in with this one. So I am excited to hear your feedback. And if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.